Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. The world of motorsport moves quickly, even during the end-of-year holiday season. According to the Spanish newspaper Marca, Sergio Perez, who recently became the latest Formula One driver without a seat, is already exploring opportunities to stay active in racing for 2025. Surprisingly, the Mexican driver is reportedly in talks with none other than Ferrari. However, these discussions are not about returning to the F1 grid, but rather joining Ferrari's World Endurance Championship (WEC) team. Ferrari has been a dominant force in endurance racing, winning the iconic 24 Hours of Le Mans twice consecutively. Their presence in the WEC includes 2 factory cars and an additional customer car run by AF Course. Despite these opportunities, other reports suggest that Perez's chances of securing a spot in one of these teams are slim. Ferrari's driver lineups for the upcoming season are already confirmed, and given the success of their current rosters, it seems unlikely they would make changes. The 6 drivers who represent Ferrari's factory team have delivered exceptional results, solidifying their place for 2025. Considering their past performance and team chemistry, Ferrari has little incentive to shake things up. As such, Perez's potential involvement in the WEC might not materialize in the immediate future. This leaves Perez in a challenging position. According to his father and statements from Red Bull team principal Christian Horner, the Mexican driver is not particularly interested in other motorsport categories outside Formula One. If that's the case, a sabbatical year seems increasingly likely. Taking a year off would allow Perez to assess his options, but it also raises questions about whether a return to F1 is realistic, especially given the intense competition for seats. Perez's departure from Formula One comes after a tenure marked by highs and lows, including multiple wins and a strong reputation as a reliable driver. However, the modern F1 grid is fiercely competitive, with a wave of young talent and teams prioritizing long-term strategies. The question remains, will Perez find his way back onto the F1 grid, or is this the end of his career in the pinnacle of motorsport? His future may depend on a combination of factors, including driver performance across the grid, team dynamics, and his willingness to consider opportunities outside F1. While endurance racing could offer a prestigious and competitive outlet, Perez's ambitions appear firmly rooted in Formula One. The sabbatical option could serve as a reset, but it also risks diminishing his relevance in a fast-moving sport where new talent constantly emerges. So, what do you think lies ahead for Sergio Perez? Will he find a way back into Formula One? Or is this the end of an era for the Mexican driver? Could a move to endurance racing or another series reignite his career? Or will he choose to step away from the spotlight? Share your thoughts on what the future holds for Perez and whether his story in motorsport still has another chapter waiting to be written. The Formula One grid is gearing up for a major shakeup as the 2025 season approaches. With several drivers changing teams and a fresh influx of rookies entering the championship, the landscape of the sport is evolving rapidly. Among the new faces is Brazilian talent Gabriel Bortolito, who has secured a multi-year contract with Sauber. His debut brings excitement, but it also reignites the debate surrounding another Brazilian driver who has been consistently overlooked, Felipe Drugovich. Drugovich, the 2022 Formula 2 champion, has yet to secure a full-time seat in Formula One despite his impressive credentials. Currently serving as Aston Martin's reserve driver, Drugovich has been waiting in the wings for an opportunity that seems increasingly elusive. Fernando Alonso, with his legendary career and unyielding determination, shows no intention of stepping aside, while Lance Stroll's position appears secure due to his father's ownership of the team. For Drugovich, these obstacles have created a frustrating stalemate. Adding fuel to the discussion, Liam Lawson, one of the rising stars for the 2025 season, has publicly voiced his views on the matter. Lawson, who has gained valuable experience in F1 and is set to replace Sergio Perez at Red Bull, did not mince words when addressing Drugovich's situation at Aston Martin. He described it as madness that a driver of Drugovich's caliber has not been given a proper opportunity to prove himself on the grid. Lawson pointed to Drugovich's exceptional performances during testing sessions as clear evidence of his potential. The Brazilian reportedly outperformed Lance Stroll in identical conditions and even clock times comparable to, or better than, Fernando Alonso's during the 2024 season. These achievements, Lawson argues, demonstrate Drugovic's readiness to compete at the highest level, even with his limited track experience in Formula One. For Lawson, the issue is not just about talent, it's about fairness. He believes that Drugovich deserves a seat more than several of the drivers who have been signed for 2025. Specifically, he emphasized that Aston Martin should be taking a more proactive approach to incorporating Drugovich into their plans. His versatility, adaptability, and proven speed make him an ideal candidate to boost the team's competitiveness. However, the challenges facing Drugovich are deeply rooted in the dynamics of the team. Alonso, with his wealth of experience and remarkable consistency, remains a central figure for Aston Martin. Meanwhile, Stroll's seat seems untouchable, as the son of team owner Lawrence Stroll. These factors have left little room for Drugovich to break through, despite his clear potential. The broader question is whether teams like Aston Martin are prioritizing internal politics over merit. Lawson's comments have reignited the debate about how opportunities are distributed in Formula One. In a sport where fractions of a second matter, the lack of a seat for Drugovich feels like a missed opportunity, not just for the driver, but for the team and the sport as a whole. As the 2025 season looms, the situation raises an intriguing question. Will Felipe Drugovich finally get his chance to shine, or will the grid continue to overlook a driver with proven talent? For now, the spotlight is on teams like Aston Martin to make bold decisions that prioritize performance over politics. What's your take on the matter? Does Liam Lawson have a point, and is Drugovich being unjustly sidelined? Or are Alonso and Stroll too firmly entrenched in their positions for any change to occur? One thing is certain, this debate underscores the ongoing tension in Formula One between talent and opportunity, and how the choices made today could shape the sport's future. The 2025 Formula One grid has been finalized, but that hasn't stopped speculation about potential shakeups early in the season. Alpine is at the center of these rumors, with their driver lineup of Jack Doohan and Pierre Gasly drawing attention. Flavio Briatore, a prominent consultant for the team, has openly cast doubt on whether this pairing will last the entire season. Reports suggest that Doohan's contract is a short-term, trial-period agreement, covering just the first 5 races. Depending on his performance, the team will decide whether to retain him for the rest of the year or replace him with another driver. This conditional contract has fueled talk about potential replacements, and one name has been mentioned repeatedly: Franco Colapinto. The Argentine driver impressed many during his stint with Williams in 2024, demonstrating speed and adaptability that caught the eye of several teams. Despite his strong performance, Colapinto has yet to secure a seat for the upcoming season. Briatore has expressed admiration for Colapinto's talent and hinted at his potential as a future Alpine driver. However, the team's current commitment to Doohan means no immediate changes can be made. In a recent statement, Briatore confirmed that Doohan will start the season with Alpine but stopped short of guaranteeing his place beyond the opening races. We'll evaluate his performance after the first few races and make a decision about whether he will continue for the full season, Briatore explained. He emphasized that Alpine's priority is results, and the team cannot afford to keep a driver who underperforms. In Formula One, there is no space for sentimentality. If a driver isn't delivering results, we'll make a change, he stated. Despite these blunt remarks, Briatore expressed optimism about the potential of the Doohan-Gasly pairing. He acknowledged their potential as a strong duo but reiterated that the team would reassess the situation after the initial races to determine whether any adjustments are needed. For Doohan, this creates enormous pressure as he enters his first full season in Formula One. With his contract essentially a trial, every performance will be under intense scrutiny, both from within the team and the broader motorsport world. This scenario highlights the cutthroat nature of Formula One, where results outweigh potential and development. While Alpine's approach aligns with the sport's high-stakes environment, it raises questions about whether this level of pressure is appropriate for a rookie driver. Is the team's strategy justified in prioritizing immediate performance, or could it hinder the growth of a promising talent like Doohan? Moreover, the uncertainty surrounding Doohan's future may also impact team dynamics and stability, particularly as Alpine strives to rebuild its competitiveness. Franco Colapinto's presence in the background adds another layer of intrigue to the situation. The Argentine has proven his abilities and remains a strong candidate for any team seeking a capable driver. His availability keeps the pressure on Doohan, knowing that a replacement is ready and waiting if he falters. Briator's comments have only intensified the speculation, making it clear that Alpine will not hesitate to make changes if the results don't meet expectations. This situation also raises broader questions about how Formula One teams manage young drivers. Should Alpine give Doohan more time to adapt and prove himself, or is their results-first approach the right strategy for a team aiming to stay competitive? While the desire for immediate success is understandable, balancing short-term goals with long-term driver development remains a challenge for teams in transition. The first 5 races of the 2025 season will be critical, not just for Doohan but for Alpine as a whole. The team's decision to place such high stakes on a rookie's performance could either pay off or backfire. For Doohan, it's a test of resilience and skill, while for Alpine, it's a gamble that reflects the intense demands of Formula One. What's your take? Is Alpine's high-pressure strategy a necessary step to remain competitive, or should they take a more patient approach with Doohan? Will the pressure push Doohan to excel, or could it hinder his performance? Share your thoughts on whether this approach will lead to success or missed opportunities for Alpine in 2025.